It's Saturday, and we're on our way down to Pasadena, California to go to Scale. We've got the JB Rover behind us.
Indy is driving. Say hi to the other room.
And,
we're stopping in Buckley first to get our new rig. Sorry.
Wow. Totally spoiled
you said
that.
We're heading to Pasadena. We're not. We're heading to Buckley.
I was setting up a big reveal.
Oh, they don't know that?
Well, they do now. Moving from rig to rig. Not so bad.
Hi, Christopher.
Hello. Welcome to Oregon.
I've been here for a little while. How's the drive going for you?
Good. This is a nice road. We're on our way to Highway 101.
Yeah.
And we're about 364 miles into the road trip so far.
We're at Battle Rock, Oregon. Well, Port Orford.
Yeah.
But we're sitting on Battle Rock. You want to see it?
It's a big rock.
Was this the rock they were sitting on?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, that's legitimately a huge ass tree.
That branch is about the size of a big tree.
Yeah, the thing's branches are the size of the trees. Well, that is a tree that lives off this thing. Look at that.
Oh my God, honey.
304 feet tall. Wow.
This thing is 1,500 years old.
1,500-year-old tree.
I want to hug it. How do I hug it?
How is it?
It's clean.
It's a little dark in here.
You know, the first part of Lord of the Rings
Yeah, really.
when Frodo first runs into the ring wraiths and he hides. There's right here.
Yeah.
Well, we're about 2 hours away from our campsite tonight, I think. 2.5 hours. Sun's starting to set. We need to fill up and get some gas. Boy, the gas prices are all over the place in California. And while we were getting gas, well, what do I see over there? My first In-N-Out burger over there. So Hadia's running over there to get us some burger snackums. So we'll have dinner on the road. We're all fueled up, and we should be making it to our KOA soon. Well, that was a lot of driving. 3 things come to mind. Number 1, California has a lot less cops on the road than Washington does. Number 2, the roads in Northern California are rough on Highway 101. And number 3, In-N-Out burgers are delicious. So now we're here in Sonoma, which is our camping site outside of Pasadena, which is where Scale is at. We're camped here because we need full hookups. We've been living in the rig since Sunday, so batteries need charged, tanks need emptied and filled. So we're camped here tonight, and Tech Helper 1 is going to bring us his car, which we'll use to drive into Pasadena in the morning. And we might scout out some locations and see if we can boondock in Pasadena. But for right now, we're hooked up at a KOA that seems really nice. It was about 8 hours of driving, so I'm going to bed. I got to rest up after I get everything hooked up. Probably about 25 minutes to set up camp, and then wind down for the evening, get ready for scale in the morning. Hey, good morning. We're on our way to scale. Ryan, aka Tech Helper here, has grabbed us in his caddy.
He's being very tech helpy.
Yeah, and we are now on our way down to Pasadena. Here's the problem. See, we didn't account for this in our parking spot, so we had to take care of the rig. There was some duties that needed to be done.
What? Some duties?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The tanks got really full. We've been living that thing since Sunday. So the tanks were so full that the shower wouldn't drain.
Backed up on him.
Backed up on me. So I had to go take care of that. So Ryan showed up right as I was flushing my poo. And so now...
To be clear, it was not the poo that came up the shower drain.
Right, it was not poo that came up the shower drain. So now we got that taken care of, and we are on our way down to day 1 of scale, aka also known as day 1 of Ubuntu, and hoping to have a good time. Here we go, assuming we make it. Traffic's a little backed up, Ryan tells me. See, I didn't account for that when I picked our spot. See, I needed to do the dumping.
There wasn't another option.
Well, that's true. There's apparently Pasadena is anti-RV. Do you know this? See, this is a thing. Yeah, I know. We're going to also maybe do a little scouting while we're there today and see if there's a better spot to park the rig a little closer. But otherwise, we'll have this as our home base. And Ryan's got the caddy here for use, which is super, super helpful. We just finished up lunch from day 1 at scale. The Mark Shuttleworth keynote was good, and I got a chance to chat with him afterwards and follow up with him on a couple of things. We had Brazilian style lunch where they just bring you a barbecue. They just bring you tons of meat. And now we're driving in a Tech Helper 1, or aka Ryan's car, back to the rig to finish up some of our
Domestic duties.
Yeah.
Domestic duties.
Yeah, like laundry and things
Napping.
like napping, sure, things like that. And then depending on how the timing works out, we might go back later tonight. But day 1 of scale, the event is just getting started. They don't even have booths set up yet. They don't have a lot of presenters in place yet. There's a lot of talks, a lot of keynotes, but my sense is this early into it, it's already going to be a great event. There's already a good showing of people there before the event's really totally kicked off. Everybody seems to be in a good mood. They've got great swag they're giving away, nice bags and lanyards. So, and it's split across 2 really big buildings, and they're all within walking distance of great food. This is the fundamental recipe you need for a great conference. Now we just have to wait to see how the rest of the week unfolds. So we're back at the Rover, or as we now call her, the Lady Jupiter. And taking just a moment to sort of relax and get our stuff together. Because, you know, one of the things about this trip is we switched to this coach mid-trip. 2 hours into the trip, south, we transferred from the old Rover to Lady Jupiter. And so we're still learning how to use this. We're still putting things away on the road while we're going. And one of the things that came up, we're in California. It's much warmer than we're expecting or used to. And so we thought, well, we'll kick on the AC because it was 80 degrees in here, which is warm for us since we're coming from like 50 degrees. And as soon as we kicked on the AC, even though we're hooked up to 50 amp shore power, the generator started automatically. Now the autogen system, to my understanding, starts when the voltage in the batteries goes too low and the generator kicks in to start recharging those and supply power to anything you need. So I left the autogen system on thinking that it wouldn't kick on whenever we're connected to 50 amp shore power. But running even just a few electrical devices, the generator is automatically kicking in. Now I've turned off the autogen system and we're still working with just shore power, but I'm trying to look into what exactly does that mean. Does that mean my batteries aren't getting charged and so the generator is detecting that and turning on? Does it mean that I can't leave autogen on when I'm hooked up to shore power regardless? I gotta figure that out, and I don't have a great way of figuring out what the charge of my house batteries are right now. So, since it's a new unit, gotta go to the manual. So I got the inverter manual right here, and I got the coach manual right here. So I'm gonna be spending a little bit of time here doing some maintenance. Since we've been living in this thing since Sunday, or really Saturday evening, and today is Thursday, all of the dirty jobs need to be done. Black tank needs to be flushed, the gray tank needs to be emptied, water needs to be filled up, because we've been living in this thing. We haven't been going anywhere else since Saturday evening. And so it's just time to catch up on a few things, figure out this generator issue. Hopefully I can get all of this stuff solved and at least figured out to my satisfaction so that we can go back to scale in the evening after traffic settles down. There is an Ubuntu after party. I'd like to go to. But right now, I got to get these problems answered because we go back on the road tomorrow. And we have to book it to make it home in time for shows and Hadia's work. So I have to get this stuff figured out tonight. So job one is get the maintenance done, get this power situation figured out, because I can't be killing my batteries before I hit the road. Plus, it's just not good to run batteries down like that. So I got to get that figured out. And if I can, hopefully timing will work out. We also have to do laundry and all that kind of stuff because we've been on the road for a week. So get that stuff figured out. Then, if all works out, we're going to get to go to the Ubuntu after party. We'll see what happens. Alright, so it seems I did figure out how to at least check the battery level. I did know this was here, I just didn't think of this. So it says our battery is fully charged. Our batteries. There's two 6-volt batteries, two 6 volts that work together. And this panel says it's fully charged, which means I'm not sure why the autogen's kicking in. Something isn't right. Okay, so some time has passed, and I figured a few things out. I figured out that my autogen, I'm under my slide here, my autogen system is controlled by this thing up here. And this has knobs you can twist that will set when the voltage is to kick in, the temperature, time of day you don't want it to run. And of course here's the inverter itself, which is nice. Right there, very accessible. And the controller for the autogen start right here, very accessible. So I'm happy about that. And here's the problem. Everything's set correctly. On top of that, doing some reading online, some other people have reported this issue with their motorhome. Specifically, you start up something that has a high demand, like the AC, and the autogen kicks in. And it sounds like it's a range from, well, inverter fan just kicked in. It sounds like it could be a range of issues from, you know, wires touching to isolators being broken. It could be a whole, I have no idea. So that's one problem. So while I'm filling the fresh water, I got one other problem that I'm going to show you. And this one is way worse than the autogen start problem. Okay, now we get to the part where we're way outside my pay grade. Let's start with this bay here. This is sort of the electrical bay. And right here are two 6-volt batteries, like I mentioned earlier. And this is probably one of the first things I want to replace, are these 6-volt batteries. It's with a rig this big, with a full residential fridge, and a few televisions on board, and lots of lights. You know, we're getting like 12 hours of tops battery charge. So if you know a lot about batteries, and specifically batteries and rigs, and could make a recommendation on what to go to here, I would love to hear that. Now, here is my big problem. This right here is our hydraulic system for the slides and also the jacks. The hydraulic system has a tank. That tank should be full of hydraulic fluid. When we left, it was up here in hydraulic fluid. And now it's down here in hydraulic fluid. You can kind of see the color difference there. When we were doing our walkthrough, they specifically told us this should not be draining unless there's a leak. If that goes dry while we're on the road, it's really specific about the type of fluid I put in there. That's going to be a major problem. It could burn out our slide motors, or the jacks might not work properly. So, gotta get that filled before we hit the road, and then I gotta figure out what's causing it to get so low. New rig, new problems. Okay, I think I have a workaround for this autogen problem. Now, right here over my shoulder is the Magnum controller that allows me to test the autogen start, disable it, and enable it. I have it disabled right now, which means we're pulling from 50 amp with no issues, and everything's working fine, and the generator isn't starting on its own. That problem is solved. The downside is, when we leave, or when we're out dry camping, if I forget to turn that back on, the residential refrigerator, the house itself, the batteries will drain quickly, and pretty soon the chassis battery also goes. If the chassis battery goes and the house batteries go, I will not be able to start the RV, and we will be stuck. We've been having a problem with the main chassis battery dying on us overnight. I'm still experimenting with that because we do have a lot of equipment in here. One of my workarounds is they've built in an ability to combine the house batteries with the chassis battery, the engine battery. When I combine the house battery and the chassis battery, I always have enough voltage to start the engine. Once the engine starts, the alternator kicks in, we're good to go. However, if the batteries drain too low, when I don't have and I don't turn that back on, I won't have enough voltage to start the RV, and we will be stuck. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I have a workaround, but I also have to remember to turn it back on, and I'm really bad about remembering that kind of stuff. So I'm a little nervous, but this workaround means I'm pretty much done here. We're pretty much good to go for tomorrow, and I think we'll be able to at least catch the Ubuntu after party. Traffic wasn't so bad. We're parked, and now we're going to, I think it's the Brazilian barbecue is where
That's where we were before.
That's where we had lunch, but turns out it's so delicious I can eat there twice. So here we go. 0 degrees out? Yeah. Okay, so we just got out of the Ubuntu after party, and it was, it's great if you work for Canonical.
So, like,
But it was nice to see people and hang out a little bit. They had an open bar, that's a nice touch. A good crowd. So it was good. It was good, right? It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It's not like Jupiter Broadcasting Party. Nobody parties like Jupiter Broadcasting.
No.
But it was good. Well, it's morning. It's morning. Good morning, Hadia.
Good morning.
And we didn't sleep so well last night. But right now we're on our way to go see the Cory Doctorow keynote, which is supposed to be pretty good. Afterwards, Noah should be landing in some city near us. I can't even remember where. Burbank. And then we're gonna do the meetup. That's what I'm looking forward to today. I'm sure the Cory Doctorow thing is gonna be good, but 9 a.m. doesn't sound super early, but when you've been out at Ubuntu parties and checking out Pasadena and just not sleeping very well in general, guess what? 9 a.m. is really early. Thanks to Hadia's mad driving skills, even in traffic, we made it to Cory Doctorow's keynote. Probably on time. All right, so Cory Doctorow just wrapped up. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice.
He's a great speaker. I mean, one of the things I really liked is he starts with a story and stuff, and he ties the whole thing, the whole talk is all tied together. Like every word matters, and he does a really good job of bringing it all together. So that was good. Now I gotta go wash my hands because I've been touching my iPhone. Yep.
Hanging with our squirrel friend. You gonna come visit me? Come on over here, Biff. Come here. Dude, you got something on your tail. It's super embarrassing.
So as I'm walking around after Cory Doctorow's keynote, one of the things that really struck me is he drew an equivalent between DRM and alchemy, the Dark Ages. And he mentioned how in alchemy, the alchemists would keep their secrets to themselves for different marketing advantages. And one of the big changes in the scientific era is the sharing of knowledge and peer review. And he managed to tie it from the very beginning sentence to his closing statement, essentially. Bring it all back together. It was a really interesting point, and it's something I'm going to be thinking more about, a lot more about. It sort of changed my opinion on DRM from something that's inconvenient to something that slows down the evolution of humanity to a degree. It was, now I think back on it, it was a really good talk.
The National Weather Service in Sacramento has issued a tornado warning for Central Pasadena County in Northern California. Take cover now.
Definitely getting worried the rig's getting damage on its main flight.